I just said in Hebrew that we have mainly two goals. One, that we want to see women involved in all the process of making decision in peace process. So far, we didn't see women there, only Tzipi Livni for a short period of time. We want to see women up there in all this process. We got our inspiration from 1325, the United Nations decision about letting women to be involved in that kind of process. Okay, this is one goal. The other goal, which is our main goal, is that we believe that we can achieve an agreement with the Palestinians that should be based on mutual agreement, that both sides will get to say what they want. Both sides will come to the table on equal basis. So, and then we will leave the table with agreement that both sides can live with. Because we know that both sides won't get everything we dreamt of. Not the Palestinians, not us. But both sides can have to negotiate. We have to negotiate. And it would take years, then it would take years. But we can get an agreement that will be acceptable by both sides. And we get our inspirations, and this is one of the main things that I just said, that we got our inspiration by what happened in South Africa, in Ireland, in Liberia, and even here with Egypt. With Egypt, when I was a child, nobody believed that we will get ever any kind of agreement with Egypt. My father was a soldier there. My husband was a soldier there. It was something that we couldn't imagine that one day would happen. And we already have 40 years of agreement. I'm not saying peace, but no wounded, no funerals, nobody killed in that border. So it's achievable. So our main goal is an agreement, and the way we are doing it is by different, as I was saying, arutzim in Hebrew is different directions. We are working with people in that kind of meetings all over Israel, not only here in Jerusalem, but also in Tel Aviv, in Haifa, in Beersheba, in Eilat, small villages, big villages, Arab villages, Jewish villages. We're just making all these meetings. This is one direction. Another direction that we are meeting people is standing outside. On Thursdays, on Fridays, on the evening, in the morning, we are standing in different junctions just to see people and that people would see us. Because we want the word peace or agreement will be back in the Israeli public, in this sphere, Israeli sphere.
Really glad to be here. I really hope that the women will have a voice and it'll affect things and there'll be more peace in this region.
I don't know if there can be any solution now, but what I really feel very strongly about, at least we could stop killing each other's children. That's what I got to say. That's why I'm here, and you feel very helpless all the time when you hear all the terrible things that are going on. So you just have to do something, even if it is just somewhere tiny to start.
I think it's very important that women and people in general try and do something to promote peace, because there's a general sense, I think, of hopelessness and lethargy and passiveness, and we kind of become accepting that the situation is unchangeable. And if we get together, we can somehow energize ourselves to be more active and give ourselves more hope, and also encourage one another to work in favor of peace, because if we don't, I don't think it's going to happen. So it's very important to just do whatever we can to energize ourselves, and that's why I'm a supporter.
not easy, but it's getting better. When we just started, even in Jerusalem, the reaction to us was very, how should I say, not pleasant is easy. It was violent. People curse us. It wasn't easy at all. But in a way, I feel that it had been changed a little bit. First of all, we've been only a few thousand, now we are 20,000, 25, 30,000 women all over Israel. And we have more movements like us are growing in different ways. So it's getting better. I'm saying in the beginning it wasn't easy at all. And even some of my best friends thought that I lost it. That, Ronnie, you got crazy. You have been, there is a word in Hebrew, hazui. I mean, you are, what's wrong with you? But it's not that way anymore. But I'm not saying it's easy. It's a long way to go. One of the main things that happened to us, I think, Israeli, and I'm a bit ashamed to say that first of all, we start talk with the Israeli Palestinians, with our neighbors, the Arabs neighbors. We start not only, study with them. I said I even gave an example that when I went to the hospital to give birth to my children, in the bed next to me was an Arab woman. So it's not that just living next to them, but also to talk. So we start with the Arab Israelis or Arab Palestinians who lives in Israel. But we are also reaching out. This is another direction that we have a team that his goal is to reach out to the Palestinians, to work with them, and to look for more and more and more connections with different groups and different organizations in the Palestinian side. And we have connection even with the El Madani, I am not sure I'm saying his name right, but with his office, and we are with him making connections with more and more Palestinian women. It's very important for us to start talk with just normal people, one to each other. 15% of our movement is men, so men are most welcome, but we wanted to be a women movement. Israeli society is a very militaristic one, and because of the army, the men get advantage, different kind of, and although I have been in the army, I respect the army, I'm not saying anything against it, but I'm saying that enough. The army should do what is needed, but the civil society should also influence what happened here, and women should be involved in everything. We are 50% of the population. We should be 50% when it comes to war, when it comes to security, when it comes to education, of course. It's easy, but whatever. We want to be represented in the most important places, especially when it comes to our lives and our children's life. I hope it will change. I believe it can be changed. We need a leadership. We need a leadership with a vision. We need a leadership that believe in this vision, and they should work to get this vision. And I can look at what happened in Ireland, and I can look what happened in South Africa. When you have a vision and you believe it's achievable, and you have your leadership that works to get it, it can be get. And we can get it. I think it can be changed, but I'm not a prophet. But I can promise that I will keep working, my friends will keep working, and so far we are growing and growing and growing, and we get a lot of support within Israel and outside of Israel. So far, it's not easy, but we see success. So we move on, we make forward, we make progress.